Welcome to the 3G Family Network. Wherever in the world you're watching from, thank you for your continuous support. And if it's your first time, please feel free to like, share, and subscribe to this channel. In today's video, I would like to cover the recently extremely successful 2024 Jamaican Carnival. Let's get into it.
If you don't have a partner, I'm sure you will find somebody on Spring Garden to help you to unwind. Tourists in the action, tourists everywhere.
So the Jamaica Carnival wrapped up approximately 7 days now, and like clockwork, every year after the Jamaica Carnival, there's always this raging debate on, Caribbean Twitter or Jamaican Twitter about reggae versus calypso. I do not want to partake in that discussion, but what I'm here today to talk about is the $5 billion success of the Jamaica Carnival. This year has been touted as the most successful carnival in Jamaica Carnival history. And I have been privileged to be a part of both worlds, like the beginning of Carnival in Jamaica back in the 90s. I took part in the first 10 Carnival street march in Jamaica back in the 90s going into the early 2000s. So I have a lot of information about both Carnival and the dancehall music space. And one thing for sure that I don't think Jamaicans give Jamaica Carnival, in particular, Byron Lee was the one that started off the street carnival. I think Huey was the first place in Jamaica where Carnival was held at the University of the West Indies campus until Byron Lee invested and took it to the road. So like I've been a part from the beginning, like from way back in the days with like Leon Caldera, when Ecstatic was like a young group coming up with Marshall Montana, when Byron Lee would go to all the carnivals across the Caribbean and would come back with the hit songs to Jamaica, and we would have 1 month worth of fete, like Juve and all type of stuff going on for Carnival month in Jamaica. I think one thing that I'm disappointed that Jamaicans don't give Jamaica Carnival enough credit. I have had the privilege, I would say, like I live in Toronto. Toronto has one of the biggest carnival in the world, the Carabana, and I've seen other carnival events. Every year, carnival has become a big thing in London, in New York, in Florida, all over the place. Carnival is a big thing in the Caribbean diaspora. And what I'm surprised that people don't talk about a lot is how organized Jamaica Carnival has been for decades. We see in Toronto Carnival, I've not been to Toronto Carnival yet because the crowd is like crazy. It's like over 1 million people. You get stuck on the subway. It's just like crazy. So I've not been yet. I plan to go there to cover the carnival this year. But one thing that always happens, I take note of in Toronto, in London, in New York, is that every year it's almost like you have to hold your breath because there's some incident going on in Carnival, some stabbing, some shooting, and the works. From the history of Jamaica Carnival, there's not much incident happening in Jamaica Carnival where shooting, stabbing, And to see that Jamaica is known as one of the most violent countries in the world, I think that is impressive. And I think instead of this debate between dancehall and um, like soca or calypso, like I believe that Jamaicans should give the organizers of Jamaica Carnival way more credit. And to see like the Jamaica Observer is reporting a $5 billion Jamaican profit this year, the Jamaica Gleaner 4.8. That's a lot of money for like 1 month event, and that is a huge deal because in April it's like it's not even it's the end of the tourism season, so like hotels are empty and not a lot of foreign exchange coming in. So to have, I think the equivalent is over 35 million US or so. That is a lot of money for 1 month of carnival events. So I am really surprised, and I think that Jamaicans should give Jamaica Carnival some more credit. That's the first point. Second point, unlike a lot of business that takes place in Jamaica that see most of the money leaving the country, Carnival is one of those events where the local economy benefits a big deal. As I said, I was a part of Carnival for 10 years. So back then, and I know to be the same now, there are costume designers that they are doing this like 12 months out of the year, preparing. Like right now, they're counting out their profits and they're preparing for next year, costume designs and the works. So the local economy, like the designers, the sound people, the sound stage people, event planners, the local jerk chicken man, like people will just get their cars and fill it up with water and juice and park on the side of the road. In Kingston, because I worked at the Jamaica Pegasus for 10 years, and back then Jamaica Pegasus, the Hilton Hotel, I think the Courtly Manor Hotel, there's not a lot of hotel in Kingston at the time. Now there are more hotels going up. I see there are a few more hotels going up in New Kingston. There's Altamont Court, there's the reopening of the hotel on the waterfront downtown Kingston. Airbnb is a huge deal in Jamaica now, and the local economy is benefiting from this in a big way, because I would say maybe close to half of the people who are taking part in the road march every year are people that fly back to Jamaica from Canada, from the UK, from all over the US, from Europe, and even in the Caribbean, to go back to Jamaica to take part in the street march. So this event really stimulates the local economy, especially in Kingston, and I think that is a point that we need to take into consideration, and we need to give the organizers and the government, Ministry of Culture, like credit for working with them, for being so organized, for the police force and everyone, to keep everyone safe on the street. So that's my second point. I think we really should give Jamaica Carnival some more credit. Okay, I would say now the third and final benefit, if there's anything else you can think of how Jamaica is benefiting from the yearly Jamaica Carnival, you can leave it in the comment section. But for me, the third is marketing, like promotion, eyes on Jamaica. And in recent years, like, we've seen a trend where celebrities from all over the world, even though Jamaica is not the mecca of carnival, that's Trinidad, but for whatever reason, Jamaica is a brand, and people want to go to Jamaica to be a part of carnival. We saw this year one of the most popular YouTube streamer in the world in Jamaica with his crew, and just going crazy live with millions of followers across the world watching what's going on in Jamaica. We've seen like rappers, we've seen musicians going there. We've seen movie stars go there for Carnival. So the promotion that Jamaica is getting in terms of like the hotel industry, it's something that hotels and the Jamaica Tourist Board could not pay for, because literally millions of people are looking in to Jamaica Carnival time because of what we've seen, the power of social media, the power of YouTube, the power of Instagram and Twitter and TikTok. So that is promotion that the as I said, the tourism board could not pay for. So all in all, I think Carnival is a win-win for Jamaica. And I think, instead of having this conversation every year about reggae music or dancehall music, the government like accepting Carnival more than they accept reggae or dancehall and support Carnival more. We just need to look, because as I said, I've been a part of both, and I think if you're honest, anyone in the dancehall space, anyone in that space, if you're honest, you can learn something from Carnival. You're in the industry and you see how organized the Jamaica Carnival Association is, or the group that put Carnival together. Even in the changing of hands from Byron Lee to whoever is running it now, even the different groups that come together, very organized. And I believe instead of every year having this conversation and criticizing the government, I believe that we can learn from the organizers of Carnival to improve the reggae and dancehall space in Jamaica, and we could make it an event like what Carnival, the pull that Carnival has. Because if we look at like Reggae Sumfest pull a lot of people, and that's just like a short 1 week event that's put on by one organizer, Joe Bogdanovich. Just imagine if all the top organizers like Ramesh, Joe Bogdanovich, all of these organizers, music heads in Jamaica come together, in particular for February now that we're calling Reggae Month. Just imagine if everyone comes together and put in the work. Reggae Month, the next 20 years could be a massive thing. And remember, Carnival is celebrating over 30 years. My first Carnival event, I was like 16, 17. So it didn't get to this point in one day. So I believe that Jamaicans should embrace it more. It's good for the economy. It's a good look for Jamaica. So I believe that we should embrace it more, and we should support Carnival in Jamaica more, because the world is looking at us. And as I said again, I sound like a broken record, but the organizers are doing an excellent job. But I want to talk about because what I've learned about business, even when you're on top, you look at Apple, when you're on top, you always have to have people like planning and seeing how can we improve. So we'll talk about how can Jamaica Carnival improve, and how can it get stronger and better every year. Okay, so how can Carnival get better? I think it's hard to see, looking at $5 billion in earnings in 1 month and think that, okay, we need to get better, but the reality is we can always get better. And it's not just about the earnings, but the whole, like an holistic approach of like any type of event. So a lot of people don't know this about Toronto. Toronto is like the festival capital of the world. People don't look at Toronto, Canada. People just see Canada as this like cold country, like living in an icebox 12 months of the year. But the reality is, in Toronto, because of the short winter that we have, the short summer that we have, which it's like maybe 3-4 good months. That 4 months in Toronto like every single weekend there are like festivals, there are events that the streets are closed off like for the entire summer, that 4 months. So for example, we have the biggest one is Caravana, still the biggest. Caravana, the Pride Parade is right there too. Taste of Danforth, that's a big Greek event that sees like I think over 1 million people that comes in for that event also. So those are like three massive events. There's like Jerk Fest, there's like Taste of Manila, there's Taste of Italy, there's every festival you can think of is happening in Toronto in the summer. And since being in Canada, one of the things that I admire about these festivals and these organizers, there's always a non-profit element attached to it. And I think Caravana have been heavily criticized for not doing that. Even though Caravana is one of the oldest festivals in Canada, we see other events came after Caravana and they have a lot of non-profit stuff that they involve in, like for example like scholarship programs. Like Caravana have been criticized for not doing well in that department in terms of like providing scholarships for young people from the Caribbean or young people of Caribbean heritage. A lot of the other events they have marathons. There are marathons attached to like almost every event in Toronto, and they raise millions of dollars. Like they raise for the Sick Kids Hospital. They raise, like if it's like say Taste of Manila, they would raise money to send back to the Philippines, like you name it. So I believe that one of the improvements that could be made with the Jamaica Carnival is to have like non-profit attached to this event, because just imagine a $5 billion event in 1 month and you are highlighting, say for example, education, like young people that are affected because of crime and violence or anything, you pick one, and that you have a non-profit attached to it that could benefit. So yes, you have tourists coming to Jamaica, you have Jamaicans coming back home to have a good time, to enjoy the carnival, but at the same time they're contributing to something that's going to help the country in the longer run. So in terms of improvement for carnival, that is one thing that I believe that could happen. Like in Toronto, like the Sick Kids Hospital, like millions of dollars every year is raised for the Sick Kids Hospital from different organizations. And anyone being a parent, or if you have seen anyone that have a child that maybe like cancer, we've seen a lot of kids now with cancer and with things that we've never seen before. And the Sick Kids Hospital is like there where you don't have to pay like hundreds of thousands of dollars to take care of your child. Just imagine a program like that. So that is how I think that the Jamaica Carnival could improve. So again, kudos to the organizers of the Jamaica Carnival, and I hope the carnival will continue to get stronger and stronger every year. And if you were a part of the Jamaica Carnival this year, tell me, what was your experience in the comment section. Tell me what improvements do you think that the Jamaica Carnival, and what could the government do to help the Jamaica Carnival to get stronger and stronger. So leave your comment in the comment section. Let me know what you think. And again, thank you for watching, and please feel free to subscribe, hit that like button, share with your friends, and remember, peace. I'm out.